wants to let you in on a secret. It's how he's been able to look so young over the years, despite his young demeanor. This secret will also provide wisdom. Please welcome Toastmaster Benjamin Hughes to the lecture with his speech entitled, My Secret.
My secret. It's how I've been able to keep such big arms, stay out of harm, and have all of the charm. Are you interested?
A bit.
I'll admit, it's not really a secret. In fact, millions of people participate in sports every year. Sports to me has kept me in shape, but more importantly, it has taught me a lot of life lessons along the way. When I was about 7, I joined flag football. My dad was my coach. And we had to learn how to include everybody on the team to make sure that all the kids were participating and having fun. We had an autistic kid on the team, so we had to think of an outside-of-the-box way to have him get the ball so that he could score his touchdown. So he was the center. My dad created this play where he would snap the ball to me, and then I hand the ball back to him, and then he just runs. And we scored him a touchdown, and if you saw the look on his face, it was amazing. So my dad taught me how to think of ways to include everyone so that everybody can have as much fun and participate as possible. When I was about 9, I joined tackle football. So, I have all these skills. I can throw this ball, and then out of nowhere I get hit. It's completely different than flag football. So I had to learn new skills and life lessons. And that's when you get hit, you got to get back up, or else everybody's going to laugh at you. And that's no fun. So when I was playing football, I had to get stronger, get bigger, and work really hard so that when I get hit, I can also hit other people and not just fall right on my back and cry every time. I remember my coach, Coach Ford. Unfortunately, he passed away last year, but he taught me what toughness is. And he would always yell. All the parents would always complain about him because they'd say he's too hard on us. He's very old school. So he'll get right up in your face and tell you that he doesn't like what you're doing. And if you didn't have your shoelaces tied tightly, he would yank them up and say, tie them tightly or else you're going to start running laps. And I just remember loving Coach Ford so much because he taught me that to be disciplined is the best way to be successful. He never yelled at me, which is probably why I liked him so much. But growing up and playing football in high school, I had to overcome other obstacles. Now all the kids are bigger and they're stronger, they're faster. I'm not that fast, believe it or not, despite my good looks. So I had to find other ways. I had to think more than be an athlete. I had to actually process what's going on the field to cut them off sooner so that they just can't run right around me. So as a linebacker, I have to understand everything that's going on in the field so that I can have the biggest advantage. After football was over, I joined the wrestling team. So I got my headgear, I'm in my singlet, which you should thank me for not putting on. And I think tackling in football is pretty easy. Wrestling should be easy too, right? Wrong. I get thrown right to my back. My first match didn't last more than 40 seconds. But I learned from that. I learned that I have to learn how to leverage my body so I just can't be thrown around. So my second match, which was only a week later, was against the same person. And it took all of the time, with only 3 seconds remaining, for me to just army crawl over him, put my arm over him, and hit him. And I won my second match against the same person I just lost to in 40 seconds. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it, and neither could my coaches. And then, after wrestling was over, I became a coach because I needed volunteer hours. So I decided to start coaching football. And we have 10-year-olds. And for me, sports have always been a place where I could learn life lessons along the way. And when I was asked by one of the head coaches, "What's your goal for this year?" I said, "I want to teach these kids so that when they grow up, they'll have more discipline, they'll be able to communicate with other people better or work with others better." And he laughed at me. He's like, "We're here to win championships, buddy." But I don't know anybody that's ever won a championship without discipline, without teaching kids the right way to do things, not be a cheater, or anything like that. So it was kind of mesmerizing to me to hear that. Now, fast forward to now, last season when I coached, we had more structure, the kids were more disciplined, and we actually did win a championship. So teaching these kids the fundamentals of how to be a good person is going to take them a lot longer of a way than just saying, "Oh, you have to be better at this," or "run this route." Because that's all great until you actually go against a good team that's disciplined. And I learned that sometimes you have to stand up for what you believe in, even if it goes against what other people say. Because I have to make sure that these kids get the discipline that they need. Because if I don't do that, then I'm failing them. They're not failing me. Now recently, I joined a jiu-jitsu gym, and I thought, I did wrestling, this should be pretty easy, right? It's very similar. I'm going in, I can't tie my belt properly, I don't know what I'm doing. I show up, I'm like, "Okay, coach, what do you want me to do?" And I get in this position, I go for my normal wrestling shot, I go, whoop, my head's right here, and I get put in a choke. I'm like, what is this? This has been completely fine for me when I did wrestling. You can't choke people in wrestling. But in jiu-jitsu, I have to learn now, so it's not just about taking them down, it's also about keeping myself in control, and keeping my arms close to my body, my neck tight. So now I learned that you can think that you know a lot about something, but you really don't until you go into it. And that's what I want to share with you guys, is that sports have really gave me a big impact in my life. F8, thank you.